In the last chapter of Boruto, Kawaki sent Naruto to this other dimension. It's probably the same dimension that Naruto and Sasuke fought Jigen in. It's a dimension where time and space hold still. He says that Naruto won't age, he won't need to eat, he's basically frozen in time. And so now we finally learned, we finally got the answers to all these questions in the story as to where Naruto is at the very beginning when we see Boruto begin his fight with Kawaki. We're very, very close to that time skip. We still don't know where Sasuke is in the future, but we did see him come in this chapter and threaten to kill Kawaki. Kawaki was able to escape. He's able to use all of the jutsus that Ishiki was able to use. This karma that Kawaki has is insanely OP. He has all of the abilities of Ishiki essentially, maybe not full mastery over them, but he can still shrink himself to become basically invisible. He can create those cubes that Ishiki was using to slam down on Naruto, and he has different time-space abilities. But we also know that Boruto does as well. And interestingly, in this chapter, Boruto gets his eye cut. So we finally get to see what exactly happened to Boruto, why he lost his eye, and what the true eye is. And my understanding is that the true eye is Momoshiki's eye. So Boruto gets his eye cut out, and what happens is Momoshiki kind of takes over for a little bit. But this is interesting because we were taught to believe that Momoshiki could no longer take over Boruto anymore after he transferred his data, his DNA data into Boruto to essentially keep him alive. So what's going to happen with Boruto and this missing eye? It's quite an injury. And speaking of injuries, let me tell you about today's sponsor. If you've ever been injured in an accident like a car crash, you probably need a law firm to represent you, but lawyers sound confusing and difficult. What do I do? Well, an injury law firm like Morgan & Morgan, today's sponsor, can fight to help you with ease. You don't need to spend any money to get started, they make the process extremely easy for you, and you don't owe them a dime unless they win your case. It only takes 8 clicks on your phone to apply, which you can do from the couch. Morgan & Morgan is one of the nation's leading injury law firms, and you can check them out today by clicking on the link in the description to get started. Boruto seemingly is one of the only people that can actually track Kawaki down, and as he escapes, Boruto goes after him. It's similar in a sense to Naruto and Sasuke, but it's a little bit different. Kawaki feels like it's his duty to kill Boruto because he's trying to stop the apocalypse from happening, which is basically if Boruto is fed to the Ten Tails, there will be a new divine tree that will bear the chakra fruit, allowing Code to become an Otsutsuki god. And interestingly, we did just a few chapters ago get a detailed explanation as to what the Otsutsuki god is, made a whole video on that, and what god jutsus are. They're called Shin Jutsu, and a lot of the powers that Kawaki has are actually god jutsus, the power of Ishiki essentially, but there's a lot more god jutsus that we haven't been introduced to yet. These are jutsus on a scale that are just insanely OP, like Damon and Ada's abilities, which for the longest time I was saying are way too OP for the series, but then we find out that it's because they're god jutsu. So they basically are able to manipulate the laws of reality. That's how powerful that they are. And as far as I understand, Boruto yet does not have any god jutsus, but he's probably going to develop them. Especially now because he has the quote-unquote true eye. He is an Otsutsuki, his DNA is basically full Otsutsuki, which should give him the abilities to obtain God Jutsu. If Kawaki can use Ishiki's abilities of God Jutsu because he has Ishiki's karma, then since Boruto is mostly Otsutsuki, he should be able to develop God Jutsus as well. Something to do with his eye, and it's gonna have to be a pretty substantial ability or abilities that he gets because right now Kawaki is one of them, probably the strongest character in the series. I mean, he's stronger than Code, most likely, who had his limiter unlocked. Naruto is nerfed and he's frozen in time. Sasuke's missing an eye and an arm. I mean, he's extremely nerfed. So I think Kawaki is probably the strongest person in the series, and then Code, and then maybe Sasuke, and then Boruto. We were told earlier that Code with his limiter unlocked would outmatch Naruto and Sasuke right now. So Sasuke could potentially die here to either Code, who has his limiter unlocked and is incredibly strong right now with an army of Jubi warriors, Or he could simply die to Kawaki. I mean, we saw Sasuke interfere and threaten to kill Kawaki, so there's a very good chance that Sasuke goes after Kawaki and they have a big battle. Does Kawaki kill off Sasuke? I think that would be horrible for the series to kill one of the favorite characters. Probably not going to happen. I really want to see Sasuke and Naruto get god forms and fight Otsutsuki Shibai, the actual Otsutsuki god. That would be such a fantastic ending to this series, if you ask me, and I think we're headed in that direction, but first, we have to accomplish a few things. This rivalry between Kawaki and Boruto is still taking place in the future. Naruto seemingly is still frozen in time, so first things first, they have to squash their rivalry somehow and rescue Naruto before either Code or Otsutsuki Shibai enter. Either Boruto or Kawaki have to be sacrificed, eaten by the Ten Tails in order to create the divine fruit that Code will eat to become a god. Maybe Otsutsuki Shibai never comes, but Code does become a god. If that's the case, that means that probably Kawaki will be eaten by the Jubi and sacrificed. They're not going to kill off Boruto, obviously. He's the series is named after him, for God's sake. So it's looking like probably either Kawaki will get eaten and die in this series, because if it's not the case and they're able to defeat Code before he sacrifices Kawaki, then the new final enemy of the series will be Otsutsuki Shibai. It's either going to be Otsutsuki Shibai, the god Otsutsuki, or Code will become the new god and they'll have to fight him in the end. And if that's the case, Kawaki will cease to exist. Additionally, I think it's very possible that Naruto and Sasuke may eventually develop these god jutsus and ascend to even higher forms than we've seen. Naruto now being frozen in time for literally eternity, what else is he gonna do in there except train? I feel like if and when he finally does escape, he's going to come out insanely powerful, and I'd like to see him fight the Otsutsuki god, which Amato was telling us about. And what better way to make Naruto and Sasuke relevant again but to give them new forms, give them these god powers that seemingly everybody is going to start getting. So far in the series, only 4 people that we know of actually have the god powers: Ada, Daemon, Kawaki, and Otsutsuki Shibai, the god. But Otsutsuki Shibai, apparently became one with the universe or something like that, so I'm not 100% sure that he could even ever come back. But if he does, there's literally no way anybody could fight him unless they all have god powers as well. And perhaps Kawaki and Boruto at that point are strong enough somehow to fight him off, but I feel like you're really going to need the help of Naruto and Sasuke using their own god powers as well, and we'll probably get some crazy war against God at the end of this series. It's gotta be the final fight, in my opinion. So Naruto is now frozen in time for an eternity. We don't know where Sasuke is, but we got a lot of our questions answered. We're finally at the point of the time skip. We still don't know the abilities of the true eye that Boruto has, but in the future, he has full control over himself, and here in this chapter, Momoshiki briefly took over, which is a little bit worrying. And at the end of the chapter, Momoshiki says, "You've lost one of your eyes. As I told you, those blue eyes will take everything from you." So what does that mean? Well, we're about to find out. My best guess is that Boruto's true eye is going to allow him to see the future. If Momoshiki knew that Boruto would lose his eyes and he would lose everything, it means that Momoshiki can see the future. So I don't know if he's going to have any other abilities, but that should be at least the base that Boruto will be able to see into the future. This series is definitely getting spicy. I like how they're tying up a lot of the loose ends, and I like that they're answering our questions and kind of coming full circle back to that first episode where we've had so many questions for so long. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and thanks for stopping by for the video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.